welcome to the exhibition of the Beauty and Ugliness conference, where we have kind of gathered together all we could find. Oh, we have gathered together all we could find of contemporary classical architecture and, I guess, traditional design and some craftsmanship. And I have Carl Fredrik here with me, who is one of the first.
Hello.
He's one of the first classical students from the Norwegian Technical University. And yes, let's show people around this place. So,
So this is one of the oldest drawings in this room, actually. This is a drawing made by Piotr Czernovsky. It's a facade renovation and transformation of a modernist building here in Oslo that was carried out in the 1990s. Piotr is not active as an architect anymore, we think. We can go on.
Here is a reconstruction project of a restaurant called Hasselbakken, which was located here in Oslo. And through the efforts of our Norwegian students from Trondheim and the INTBAU, Norway, they have tried to reconstruct a suggestion for how it can be done again. This is done by Jeppe Holter and Eir Petersdotter.
Yeah, so the next project is, sorry people, So this project here is the only urbanism project in this room. Here we have a plan for a theoretical expansion of the city of Trondheim. We continue the Baroque plan and the Baroque city structure into a new part of the city. And it has also excerpts with facades of buildings that could be placed in prominent spaces, beautiful piazzas and squares that are designed to fit in with the current layout of Trondheim, and it's all beautifully rendered in watercolor by a group of students. It's Oskar Olderøy, Frank Hegland, Jakob Hegna, and Wilhelm Berlin. Yeah.
And coming here, it's the Norwegian Summer School of Classical Architecture from last year. This is some of the results from an urban repair project in the old town of Fredrikstad. Here we see an infill, or suggested facades for the infill in a section where there is no building today.
And here we have two beautiful drawings. These are watercolor renders, originals made by Frank Hegland. He is a third-year student at NTNU, and he is one of the people who have gone maybe the deepest into architectural watercolor rendering on his own private time. So these are two drawings that he had made for existing projects in Oslo. This one is the National Theatre, a recently very relevant project, I would say, since it's now suggested to continue it in a traditional classical style.
Here, briefly, we have more suggestions from the Norwegian Summer School of Classical Architecture by INTBAU. And moving on here, one of our next speakers coming in just about an hour is Jeppe Holter, who will present his classical master thesis and how he works with architecture today. He calls his talk drawing or architecture made by hand, because hand drawing and the kind of intuitive relationship to architecture of the place is what motivated this building design, which is placed in Trondheim, a suggested rebuilding of the old fish market of Trondheim.
Okay, and if we can then sneak our way into the corner here, we have a small project. This here is a project made by Oskar Olderøy. It is a student project made for the Classic Planning Institute. He is taking their classes, and you can see they are also working with the same techniques. It is a common, shared, international culture of how you render and illustrate these projects. Yeah.
I suggest you go further on.
Yeah, we can go further, yeah. These are also from the Classical Planning Institute, right? No, they're not.
We actually don't know exactly. This is from a Swedish architect that just suggested to hang his project work in our exhibition, and we, of course, is welcome. I don't know much about it, other than that the drawings look very nice. But I suggest we go over to the project we know very much about, which is the Classical National Museum.
Yeah, these are my drawings, actually. So I don't know if I should be presenting them, but I can partially say they're very nice drawings. This is a section of the building where you can see, all of the rooms in the interior seen through the section line. And then going on further, we have this very large drawing. It's a 2 meter by 1 meter watercolored facade render of the main facade facing the ocean of my alternative proposal for the Classical Museum in Oslo.
And this is a project by me and Elise Scheide Wibe. It was our diploma project for architecture in Trondheim, and it's called Aesthetic Repair of the Post-War Modernism, because there was this building, or there is this building, in a small town in Norway, very characteristic of a specific time and type of architecture, which we suggested to repair in 3 different ways. One with only color, one with changing proportions of the building, and the last one by adding or articulating the architecture. And these are just the watercolors of this project. Yeah, let's go.
So now we are entering a series of small posters here. We'll start with the first one. It's featuring counter proposals for a competition at the Classic Planning Institute and the Spanish Architectural Uprising carried out in Madrid, where there is an infill site. And all of these are proposals that were sent in by various students from summer schools or classical architects in Spain and other countries for what could possibly fit on the site. And you have a very large richness of variations here. Some of them are very regional, some of them are more international, and they are more or less classical. Moving on, we have then the posters from the Classic Planning Institute and their students' works. You can see they are focused on everything from construction details and smaller, very small, fine construction of acanthus leaves for the details also, all the way up to larger schemes, all beautifully rendered in either pencil or watercolor.